Hey, what's up everyone? This is Alter Tech back again with a new exciting video. And if you guys want to know everything about the OnePlus 9 Pro, if you're thinking about buying one right now, you've clicked on the right video because I've been using this phone for about 6 months and I can say with confidence, I know this phone pretty damn good, and I hope to give you guys the necessary feedback that you're looking for to make a good buying decision. Now, some of you guys might be familiar with the hardware, but I'll go with it briefly without being too technical for those who aren't. If you just want to hear about my experiences with the phone, you can feel free to skip on ahead. Now, first off, you have a premium 6.7-inch AMOLED display running 120Hz. Why would you say premium? Because it could go up against the new iPhone 13 Pro and Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. It's one of the best displays on the market. Now, the display feature that stands out from OnePlus is a new Hyper Touch feature, which you'll definitely notice if you're a gamer. When you touch the display, the screen reacts much more faster. Personally, I've noticed it when playing Call of Duty Mobile. It feels as if your fingers are in sync with the phone in real time. Now, as for the colors, the calibration and whatnot, you guys could go ahead and play around with this in the settings. They offer you a wide variety of different settings, which you could go ahead and play around with it, from the color temperature to, sRGB. Now, let's go ahead and jump to the dual stereo speakers, which I'll give a 7 out of 10. It's clean, it could get loud, but it just doesn't have the bass I was looking for, people. And I've noticed that the bottom firing speakers is louder than on the earpiece speakers, like on the OnePlus 8T. It's not a big deal, but you'll notice it when your hands are blocking the bottom firing speakers while watching movies or playing video games. The good part about this is that the call quality is great. Voices sound really damn good while on the T-Mobile network. Now let's go ahead and talk about the durability of this phone. I've dropped this phone a few times. I've been protected with the armadillo case. I'll have a giveaway down in the description below. Now let's go ahead and talk about the build quality, because this phone has held up pretty damn good. There's no nicks, there's no cuts, but for the most part I've dropped this phone flat down. The display, I'm still using that plastic screen protector that came with this phone. I got this directly from OnePlus, so it does come with a plastic screen protector. I don't think it comes with the T-Mobile versions, so that might be another reason to just get it straight from OnePlus. There isn't any deep scratches on this screen protector. For the most part it's held up pretty well. Initially it was coming off, and that was before I had a case, so get a case and you'll be fine. There's no need to go ahead and get one of those expensive tempered glass screen protectors, which are a pain in the butt to actually install. Next up, we have the cameras. Believe it or not, the cameras are one of the best features on the OnePlus 9 Pro. You've heard people say for years that if OnePlus had better cameras, they would have the best phone on the market. Well, this year, OnePlus has gone above and beyond with the cameras. The color accuracy has improved, photos look much more detailed, and low-light photos look amazing with the primary and ultra-wide cameras. Now, after 9 solid updates, yes 9, the cameras are among the best. What's more surprising is that OnePlus recently released a new software update which added a new X-Pan mode and a long list of camera software optimizations. For example, the camera app now opens up faster, shutter lag has been greatly reduced, and photos have been refined for a less over-sharpening effect, less contrast, and better noise reduction. This is easily one of the best smartphone camera systems right next to the Galaxy S21 Ultra, Google Pixel 5, and iPhone 13 Pro. Speaking of the iPhone 13 Pro, check out my photo comparison test between the OnePlus 9 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro. For photography stills, the OnePlus 9 Pro had the upper hand when it came to resolution, color accuracy, and having a Pro mode. It's still kind of odd that Apple still has yet to add a Pro mode, but they have the Halide app, which you have to pay for, which Apple actually profits from, which they don't have to really work on, so they win either way. But anyways, with the high-res mode, it also gives you the option to take photos in high resolutions with the 48 and 50 megapixel sensors, which are very, very expensive sensors, opposed to the 12 megapixel images you get on the iPhone 13 Pro. But if you were to come to the video recording side, it's a completely different story. The iPhone 13 Pro is still the king of video recording in my opinion, and OnePlus still has some work to do. For example, you can't record with the telephoto lens on the OnePlus 9 Pro, and the exposure still likes to jump around in certain situations. But aside from that, the OnePlus 9 Pro has some new tricks, like a new HDR mode, which offers better HDR video. You guys, I have a video on this as well. And you also have the option of video recording in 4K at 120 frames per second. This is great for slowing down video clips for a smooth cinematic effect. As for the overheating issue, there hasn't been any issues for me as long as you don't go over the 5-minute limit when recording in 8K or record in very hot environments, especially in direct sunlight. Now, speaking of heat warnings, let's go ahead and talk about the performance. This phone is fast and it's capable of playing any game at the highest settings, but it also gets very warm, as with any Snapdragon 888 processor. It's important to mention that OnePlus has throttled certain applications to improve battery life. this went unnoticed until someone from Geekbench exposed it. Maybe it's just my imagination, but when I'm exporting photos from Lightroom or looking to add multiple photos on social media, the phone feels slower. For example, let's say I'm trying to post 4 photos on Twitter, and I've added 2, but now I'm going back to search for 2 more. There is a little bit of slowdown. Maybe it's just me. I've asked others as well, and they've had no issues. Maybe it's just my phone. I'm not exactly sure why, but it is what it is. And as for Wi-Fi speeds and connectivity, you have some excellent hardware, and you're not going to be disappointed as well. I'm getting great signal in my house with this device, and even with 5G connectivity as well, I'm getting great, strong 5G connectivity from T-Mobile. But overall, I've been very satisfied. And for the battery life, this is a bit tricky. So I could get around 4 hours of screen on time on a heavy day with high intensive applications, like, with the camera app, taking a lot of videos and photos. Maybe I'm heavy on photo editing and video editing, and I'm using this with 120 Hz and with Quad HD turned on. Now, on a light day with web browsing and social media apps with 120 Hz on and Quad HD turned off, I could probably get around 7 hours of screen on time. So if you're a heavy user, my advice would be to turn on battery saving mode and charge up when possible with Warp Charge 65 or have a Warp Charge 50 wireless charger at your desk. The OnePlus 9 Pro remains one of the fastest charging smartphones on the market, going from 0% to 100% in under 30 minutes or from 0 to 30% in just a few minutes. And it comes in very handy when you don't have any time and you're in a rush. Alright everyone, so now we're at that point in the video in which I'm not going to be scripted. This is completely off script, not just because I just hate writing and I got tired of writing, but let's jump into it real quick. Number 1, reasons to buy this phone. Number 1, it's different. If you guys are tired of Samsung, if you're tired of Google, you have OnePlus. And if you guys don't like the Oxygen OS experience, go ahead and install Lineage OS. I invite you guys. It's a great OS system. And the great thing about OnePlus is that they make it very easy for you guys to unlock the bootloader, which is something that some other companies refuse to do, like Motorola. You have to go through some extra hoops. And with LG, it's very much more difficult. So on top of that, you have tons of ROMs for the OnePlus lineup. So that's a positive. And another thing, the ergonomics of this phone. This is one of the largest phones out there that doesn't really stress too much on your hands because it doesn't feel too heavy and it's very nice and thin. I think it's one of the lightest large displays out there in the US market. And on top of that, with the release of the Pixel 6 series, you're probably going to find a lot more deals on this phone. I've seen some deals recently in which you get the OnePlus Pro Buds for free with a OnePlus 9 Pro, and you also get like about $69 off, making it about $999-ish on the OnePlus.com website. I know OnePlus fans, you guys are very, very much nitpicky when it comes to spending your money. So on these, third-party websites like eBay and Swappo, you're definitely going to see this phone for like around $700. And to me, guys, it's a great buy, especially because you're getting that extra year of software updates and an extra OS update. So that's huge, guys, because the lifespan of this phone has been dramatically increased in an extra year. I think many of you guys should be happy about that. And not to mention, with ColorOS coming out, I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be one of the best Android updates we've gotten from OnePlus when it comes to quality. So I'm very excited about that. And finally, reasons not to buy this phone. Yes, I have to include this, guys. So OnePlus, don't take this personal. If you guys are just intact into the iOS ecosystem, I can understand it. If you guys are interested in carrier deals, this phone hasn't been getting too much great traction with carrier deals. It hasn't been like, buy this, get this free, or trade in the phone and get this free. It's been more like trade in the phone and get $300 off, or add a line and get $300 off. With T-Mobile, a lot of these other competitors are just killing it right now with carrier deals. For example, I got the iPhone 13 Pro for less than half off with a trade-in. That is insane. And finally, the Snapdragon 888. This is what, in my opinion, kept the OnePlus 9 Pro from achieving full glory. For example, the overheating issues, it's been somewhat fixed, but it's been throttled, people. I would have been open to using a Snapdragon 870 on this device, but at the end of the day, we have to give OnePlus when credit is due. This is one of the best products they've pushed out into the market. Very premium. I've been extremely happy and satisfied with this. This phone has been a joy to use when it comes to taking photos. Now, at the end of the day, we have to give OnePlus some credit because this is one hell of a phone. It takes great photos. They've pretty much given us everything we've wanted. I think the Snapdragon 888 is just the only thing holding it back, but it's just not their fault. And overall, with the Oppo merger, it looks like a great investment. You're going to get better quality updates, you get more frequent updates, and it seems to be a win-win situation. Now for OnePlus fans, you're going to enjoy this because these phones have been depreciating quite quickly, much more quickly than the OnePlus 8 Pro. I'm not exactly sure why. So for you to go ahead and get this for like around $700, like I've said before, it's a steal. So anyways guys, I hope this video helps you out when it comes to making a buying decision. And whatever phone you decide to pick up, make sure it's for you. Anyways guys, this is Alter Tech signing out. Hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Take care. Peace.